calm it down via the nervous system, and then it works. Okay? It works. I'll tell you just a quick story about that as well, because I love this. So it's a great muscle. This lady came to my office and said she heard I can do some good work, and she said she can no longer lift her head to see the stars. So she hasn't seen the stars in years. Her husband redecorated her whole kitchen and brought the cabinets down. Right? So I worked on her, and it definitely had trigger points in her SCM. It took about 6 sessions, and then she could see the stars. And her husband was very unhappy with me because now he had to move the cabinets all back up again. But you can see, you're going to do more than just make a muscle feel good. You're going to do some great stuff if you understand the body. It is amazing. Totally amazing. And this is what we'll do. Every time we go to muscle, we talk about what a trigger point can do there. And some of these muscles you look at and you're like, well, I can't touch those. Wrong. You will be able to touch those muscles. Every muscle you see here we can work on. Yes, even the eyeballs. Okay? So we can do some great work. Great work. You'll do things that you wouldn't believe are possible. You'll help people that didn't think that it was possible to be helped. You just got to understand the body. It's not all really rocket science. It's just, it's all out of the medical handbooks here. So this is nothing new. We're not doing voodoo. The doctors know this. For some reason they're not using it to their best abilities that they could. But let us use it. And it's not dangerous at all. It really is just going to put compressions and massage in the area. Right? But we'll do a whole protocol behind that. You also have to stretch it and heat it, range of motion to make sure it totally goes down. Because the body learns to not move. Yes? Because of pain. So if you get a client that comes in like this, and then you work on their muscles, they still will go like that unless you get them to try to move it without any discomfort or as little discomfort as possible, and then they'll eventually. I have clients now who take off all these mirrors that they put in their cars because now they can turn their head. It changes lives. Because you know the body. It's pretty amazing stuff. So that's what we'll do. We'll work on muscles on the anterior neck to help with people who cough a lot, speech problems, stutter, tongue muscles, for people who snore, who like to speak better, for singers, on tongue muscles. I mean, and this is just this part of the body. I haven't even talked about the rest of the body yet. As you can see, there's a lot to do, a lot to help. Right? Any questions so far?
Will this also help with someone that has a stroke?
Now, stroke is for a different reason. But the problem with stroke persons is people don't get them to move enough. And what happens is they lock up. The body will, the old saying, you don't use it, you lose it? That's what the body does. If you don't move an arm, the body will start to take muscles away and start to put the joint and get rid of it. So that you've got to work on them continuously and get them to move. And yes, you can do it with MT or any therapy. I would just say you've got to get them to move in the size muscles and keep them limber, so when it does kick back on, usually, they'll have full movement of it. That's why they have better movement with legs, because they have to, but they won't have better movement in their arms because they don't. Right? So I would say the therapeutic effect is to keep the muscles and the arms moving for them and work on all the muscles. Cool. Any more good questions?
When I think about the SCM muscle, you're saying how it can cause the photophobia.
Yep.
Could you explain a bit more about that?
Well, it fires to behind the eyes. Right? Behind the eyes is the optic nerve. And these, a lot of problems, people see the red here, right? You all know what I'm talking about? Have you seen trigger points before? Yeah. And they think that's pain. That's not pain, that's energy. The body is actually shunting energy to another part of the body so the body won't do something in order to prevent pain. Does it make sense? So when this SCM fires behind the eyes, like in here, it hits the optic nerves, and then they just, optic nerves pick up light, so then you get all these things happening. Yeah? And it's funny because you think about it, right? If I have trigger points in my abdominal muscle, my rectus abdominis, they fire pain to my back. Yeah? And usually across, like a belt. Now, if a client comes into you and they say, I have back pain, Do you really think it's in their back when they're bending forward? A lot of people, oh, well, they go right there and just massage it and hopefully help them. Well, the problem there is that I'm holding my entire weight in my back muscles. So are my back muscles really the problem? No. What's happening is the psoas, or the abdominals, don't want to be stretched, so they send pain to the back and says, no, don't do that. So you can see how you can get thrown off with the trigger points if you do not understand them. So you start to look at that, wait a minute, it's not that hard if I know what's going on. And there's huge amounts of information on trigger points on and off, so you don't even have to do it. I would highly recommend buying Terrell's books. They're expensive, but they're worth their weight in gold. You know, do that a little bit later with Dr. Janet Terrell. So, posture, trigger points. Then we'll go through each individual muscle. We'll first see it on a video. Then we'll talk about it. Then I will do the work on a person to show you how it's done. Then you will do it. Right? And then we'll review it again and talk about it again. Okay? So those are Terrell's books, so feel free to take a look at them after leisure. Okay. Any questions so far? This is exciting stuff, guys. Once you know the body, just, wow, opens it. You'll help people you don't even know about it. And the reason I get you to make a health history form is because you're going to make it bigger and bigger as we go along. Because you're going to know more things, you're going to add more things to it. And when people see it, I had a client says, well, do I have to really feel all this out? I said, no, only if you want to get better. You know? But I get them to fill it out before they come to my office. And it's a lot of ticks, so it's not too hard. You know? And then I browse through it and ask them about it, and I get straight to it, and I get a great idea. But what we do every time we work on a certain part of the body, your light goes off. Wow, I need to add this too. So you keep it in your computer so you can re-update it. You know? So don't make too many copies in the beginning, because you'll probably be evolving, right? A lot of people don't evolve. Their health history form stays exactly the same. So you evolve with your health history form. You know? And it doesn't matter. After clients pull it out, and then when I really say, okay, this is what I find, they go, wow, sounds just like what I have, you know? And that's it, then I help them faster. But of course, by questioning more, we learn about questioning as well. We do a lot of questioning in class, and clinical reasoning as well. You get more out of it when you get more out of the class. And then you just get in there, that's it. You can make it bigger. I will always challenge, and I've always challenged anybody, I'll do one muscle. You do as many as you want. Work for within an hour, and I bet I'll get a better result than you want. Right? And I've won, because only one person was silly enough to take that the challenge. Beat them really easily, and they couldn't understand it, and then I explained it to them. Because I did the muscle precisely, I just didn't go over it. I checked that muscle thoroughly, I went through its range of motion, I looked for trigger points, and then I got the person to re-educate the motion of the joint. And they got a better result. And that trigger point was also fine for other muscles, so all was go anyway. Right? So you see, it's just a matter of knowing how to do something right. Instead of rubbing away until hopefully something happens. Who here's one lotto? You wouldn't be able to one lotto, right? So you can see, we don't want to play lotto with their bodies either. We want to get right to the point. And that's what we do as neuromuscular therapists. We become neuromuscular detectives. Find out all the clues, go straight to the culprit, and get a great change. We'll also learn that the pelvis, of course, influences the spine and the neck and the skull. So we'll learn therapies to get the pelvis back into alignment. Male and female are slightly different, but we know them both, and we'll put them as needed for the body. No matter how much work you will do for the neck or the TMJ, if you do not address the pelvis, you will not get the results that will stay, because the pelvis will, again, take it out of line. Does it make sense? You know, you see those people with their knees way locked back and stuff like that. Well, that's because there's some pelvis problems there, and you need to bring the pelvis back. It's not that hard. We'll also talk about making sure our clients cooperate and do their job, because we're not here to fix, we're here to assist the body into its health. Okay? So we'll check out those changes. We'll find out what the cranium's bones, what they do to each part of the body pretty much, what they affect. Pretty amazing. The temporal bones usually affect the pelvis. So if you're having a pelvis that you did all your work to, still not yet getting right, then you'll have to go to the cranium, work the cranium, and then the pelvis goes right back in again. It's pretty amazing stuff. And for pelvic tilts and stuff, you can just move the temporal bone and the pelvis just goes right back in the work. Certain moves, it also can just completely eliminate scoliosis. It's just amazing stuff. But the body has all this. The body made it, it can unmake it. Does that make sense? Right? And it's just pretty amazing stuff. Yeah. Any questions?
Yes. You were talking about if there's pain in the back with the rectus abdominis contracted, and you said that there was that the pain is actually radiating to the back. Is there a neuro? Is there are the neurons that are working that area fire to create the pain?
The theory is it goes fascially.
Okay.
There's a lot more research going on in the fascia that hasn't been done. To them, it's just a piece of white thing in the way, just rip it out. There's the muscle. But see, this is a false picture of the body.
Yeah.
In reality, if you take the skin off first, you'd have fat. Then if you take the fat off, then you'd have fascia everywhere. You wouldn't see any muscle fibers. You'd see only a couple TFLs on the outside. There's a couple of the muscles, but usually you wouldn't see it like that. They all covered with fascia. And they used to just rip that off and discard it. But now they're doing more research on fascia and finding that it actually has its own memory, its own neurological systems, and even muscles in it. So, yes. Remember, everything we do, we won't always know why. But if it works, hey, that's good enough for me. Because is there any facts in life? There is. Since when? Why is this board colored white? Anybody know? Why is it called a white board? Where did the color white come from? There's a whole bunch of cave men and women sitting in there, and they go, oh, yellow, white, green, purple. Vote, white, white, white. That's the only reason is white. You could have been the males and we could have been the females, right? So everything is done by our perception of what we think we call it to make it work. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we have created nothing in this planet. Destroyed quite a bit, but we haven't created nothing. Right? So everything is already here. We've just rearranged it. Yeah? And so there's no facts. It's all thoughts. But that's good, because as you notice, thought changes as we evolve. And that's the beauty about it. We're actually like kind of growing up in a way. We're evolving. So hopefully we do the right thing. Right?
But unfortunately, in some circles of medicine, the whole philosophy of it, the whole belief system is based on labels.
Yep.
Labels of pain, constellations of pain,
Yep.
and symptoms, and people get stuck on a label and they think that's what they have, and then that's what they have.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like there seems to be a relief to get a label. Okay, oh, that's my such and such. Oh, right, yeah. And then they don't have to do anything about it because they have a label for it.
It's unfortunate that the authority people sometimes can make us feel a certain way by listening to them. Because we're supposed to be able to trust them, right? And there's a lot of good ones out there, and there's some that are not so good. So the thing is, we just work with the best ones we can find. Always make connections with them, because there's some good therapists out there.